Hello everyone, welcome to Kumari's Kids channel. Today's this story is the continuation of the Alice Alice in Wonderland, and this is the ending part of the story. Okay, let's get started. Alice decided she might as well enjoy the unexpected party. The March Hare rushed to serve her some tea, but he bumped into the Hatter, who spilled his tea on his coat and on his bow tie. The tea is very strong. It will calm you down, she said. Alice was quite positive it was the opposite, but she didn't even venture to try to convince him. Let's have a song to celebrate this young lady's non-birthday, announced the Hatter. Twinkle, twinkle, little bat, how I wonder what you are at. How up above the world you fly, like a tea tray in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle. When he finished his song, he took his hat off and uncovered a big birthday cake with a candle. Boom! Suddenly the cake exploded, and Alice was covered with chocolate cream. The Hatter and the March Hare found this extremely amusing and burst into laughter. Alice, who by that time had had enough of these two, laughed at once. Unfortunately, it was not easy to know where to go. There were signs everywhere saying this way, not that way, up here, over there. She was confused. In fact, Alice was lost once more and could see no trace of the white rabbit. She had seen so many strange things all day long that when a broom dog got close to her, she was hardly surprised. The dog was sweeping everything in its way, and after he had gone by, there are nothing left behind, not even a pet. That's why Alice couldn't find her way. She heard someone laugh right next to her, and when she looked up, she saw the Cheshire Cat in a tree. Are you lost again? He asked. Is that your favorite occupation? You are the one who got me lost, she protested. You took me to a Mad Hatter instead of showing me where the rabbit had gone. Alice was very cross. You are not my pleasant, but I am good-natured cat, and I help you anyway, the Cheshire Cat replied. Follow me. They walked down a little passage, and then she found herself in a beautiful garden at last, among the bright flowers beds and the pretty fountains. A large rose tree stood near the entrance of the garden. There were three gardeners busily painting the white roses. As she went nearer, she saw the gardeners were shaped like playing cards. Would you tell me, Alice asked timidly, why you are painting these roses? Well, miss, you see these three ought to have been red. The queen only likes red roses, they answered. At that moment, one of the gardeners, who had been anxiously looking across the garden, called out, "The Queen, the Queen!" The doors of the palace opened, and a long line of soldiers came out. Like the gardeners, they too were shaped like playing cards in black and white or red and white. Next came the courtiers, two by two. These came the royal these came the royal children, jumping and playing merrily, hand in hand. The knave of hearts followed. He carried a cushion with a royal crown on it. Last of all came the queen. When the Queen of Hearts was level with Alice, she stopped and looked at her. "Who is this?" she demanded to know. The knave of hearts only bowed and smiled. "My name is Alice." My name is Alice, Your Majesty," said Alice very politely. "I'm looking for a white rabbit." "Nonsense. Do you know how to play croquet?" "A little," Alice answered, wondering what the game would be like. In fact, she had never seen such a curious croquet around before. The balls were live hedgehogs and the mallets live flamingos. The courtiers started applauding. The Queen seemed to enjoy the game tremendously. "Very good," she occasionally said. Alice tried her best to please the Queen, but it was rather difficult to play with live animals. Usually she managed to get the flamingo's body tucked away, but when she was about to hit the hedgehog with the flamingo's head, it twisted itself round and started to look up in her face. The Cheshire cat, who hated the Queen, suddenly jumped on her back and tied the bottom of the dress to Flamingo's back. The Queen didn't notice this, but she just as she was about to win, she lifted her arm up high, and the flamingo held on so tight that she fell upside down. All that could be seen of the dignified Queen was two legs wiggling in the air. Everybody had a good laugh, even her husband, the little king, who followed her around so devotedly. When the Queen finally was able to get up, she was red as a lobster, and she began to have a tantrum. "You are the one who is responsible. I shouldn't have trusted you. You are neither heart nor club nor spade, not to mention diamonds. You don't belong here," she screamed at Alice. "I didn't ask to be here, and isn't my fault," Alice began, but she was immediately interrupted by the Queen. "What is this? I'm the one who rules here. Take her away and off with her head," the Queen shouted. She must be she must be tried first," the King timidly said. The Queen was astonished that he had dared to speak. "Let her be tried, then," she said reluctantly. They all immediately went to the court. Alice was very impressed. The Queen got up on a high throne and began addressing the audience. "We are here to judge this girl who is guilty of the crime of treason. She will have her head cut off. That's my sentence. When she finished, she sat down. But that's not a trial, the little king said. There must be witness, and the juryman must decide what the sentence will be. Who is the queen here? Demanded Her Majesty. No one else dared to speak up for Alice. Alice understood that if she wanted to get out of this unpleasant situation, she should act for herself, as the little king would not be able to do much for her. She started thinking very hard, but about what to do. Then, fortunately, an idea crossed her mind. All I have to do, she exclaimed, but as quietly as she could, is it to eat some of the mushroom I kept in my pocket, and then I'll be very big and I'll scare them off. She immediately bit a piece of mushroom and she began growing and growing. The whole gathering was so panic stricken when they saw that Alice was so big. Everyone rushed to exit, although the queen shouted off her head. Nobody listened to her anymore. Who cares for you? Alice said. You are nothing but a pack of cards. And with these words, she saw the pack rise up in the air and fall down again. Else, that wasn't the end of Alice's adventures. She was much too big to go through the door, so she had to eat a piece of the mushroom to get back to a small size. It was indeed perfect to go through the door, but her enemies, seeing her back in a miniature size, started running after her. The queen was screaming at the top of her voice. Get hold of her. I want her head to be cut off. Luckily, the little king managed to help Alice by showing her back door and finally escaped. She thought she was safe at last, but in fact, she was trapped in a maze. She could hear the pounding feet of the soldiers searching for her. How will I find the exit? She wondered. Alice felt like giving up everything and going to sleep. She closed her eyes. She could still hear the queen's harsh voice far in the distance, but faintly, as if it was in a dream, she found herself surrounded by cloud and had impression of seeing the Mad Hatter, the White Rabbit, and the March Hare go by in the distance. She couldn't bear what they said anymore. She whispered in her sleepy voice, White Rabbit, wait for me, off with her head. Wake up, Alice, dear, you've been sleeping a long time. Alice's sister gently woke her up. I had such a strange dream, said Alice, and she told her sister of her strange adventures as they walked back home. You know, in Wonderland, white rabbits have watches in their waistcoat pockets and they run because they are late for their appointments. Thank you for watching. This is the end of Ellie's story. See you guys in the next storytelling. Bye.